It was beautiful. Like, it was a good balance of everything. It healed a fair bit, didn't cost too much, and it didn't take too long either. They're determined. So there's a little critter there, chaotic runoff. Sadly, you can't get that as a pet, though I wouldn't be surprised if you could at another stage. Keep hitting. Beautiful.
It is a good day.
We buy time, but nothing more.
We do what we must for those we love.
The Vindicar's true. I've read that before. It is good that we know. It is good to know that we can. It is good to know we can share a common goal. Perhaps I'll find some use for your kind yet. Oh, that's friendly. One sec. Okay. Actually, I can't remember. Did any of these, void aligned materials exist back in Burning Crusade? Mana tombs. There is Pandemonious, but no. This is what the old materials looked like. And the Nexus Prince Shafar doesn't seem that way. He bound Pandemonious. This infamous Void Lord is also known as the Duke of Chaos, Eater of Nations and World Slayer. Pandemonious was once one of the commanders serving under Domenius when the ethereal homeworld of Karash was destroyed. He was later bound by the Nexus Prince Shafar and forced to continue satiating his unending hunger in service to the Ethereals. Yeah, that's why the Ethereals are the way they are. Domenius consumes their world, and he did something to the Ethereals. They used to have bodies of flesh, and they ended up surviving as energy wrapped in those bandages and whatnot. So yeah, Domenius was quite disappointingly just he was a boss at he was a burrowing enemy. I believe as Manaforge Ultras. He wasn't. I don't think he was that big of a deal. I remember it took. I remember realizing I killed him, and I was just like, "Oh, I killed him, huh?" Like, he wasn't some big guy. This is like years later. I realized, wait, I remember doing those quests. Huh? I killed him. Huh? I didn't even realize. Because he was just so, he wasn't, part of a dungeon. He wasn't a raid boss. He wasn't a world raid boss or something. He was an elite at most. I think I swanned up and just bet him with my hammer. Or whatever I had at the time. So it was kind of sad. Part of me feels it might have been cooler if more had been put to him. But whatever. Also, see here, the Farallon. That's what the Netherstorm used to be called before it was the Netherstorm. Around here is Farallon. People were hoping in WoD would get it. WoD was apparently a bit... Well, from my perspective, it ended up coming off a bit rushed. Apparently Legion was in production at the same time as WoD. And that is not a good idea. That is not a good idea at all. Certainly Legion turned out pretty well, but WoD turned out terribly. Well, maybe not terribly, but if you're doing any story, you need to give it the time it deserves and the time it needs. And if you're doing the kind of story they're going for with WoD, you can't, alternate universe, time travel shite. You need to give it the time it needs. You need to give it a fair bit of time there. And Shatrat has not been freed. Shatrat is still under Legion control. There's meant to be fungus whales in the Zangar Sea. You know the whale sharks? Fungus versions of them. None of it. There's no Farallon. As one side weird thing. In Highmaul, you see Cho'Gall at the start, But unless you're on Mythic, you never see Cho'Gall again for the rest of the game. He just disappears. Because on Mythic, you kill him. But that's more of a weird, you know, game design rather than a rushing thing, I guess. But yeah, it's just like there's, you know, none comes to the Shatrat thing. I swear I remember more critiques, but just some of it just seems very weird. My mind's jumping to the Draenei forgiving Garrosh immediately for, you know, the attempted genocide. That just seemed to be the ending scene for WoD. But bitching about that aside, it just like, what? I can't remember why I came on to WoD. I think I just wanted to bitch about how long. Like my mind is just blanked of what I was saying. Like, oh yeah, I remember I was talking about Farallon in Outlands. I was talking about Farallon, what used to be called Netherstorm. Then I was showing you it here and how people were hoping we'll get it to see it. It'll be cool, but Blizzard didn't do that. They didn't really give WoD enough time. Like it got a content patch. Well, like I think I got 2 once, but I think one of them was kind of pitiful, if memory serves. Like you didn't really get a proper stuff to it in it. Like for like it wasn't a. I know there was like say 6.0, 6.1, and 6.2, I think, but I think 6.1 didn't really add that much content. So, like 6.2 just added in Tanan Jungle, and they just, from what little I remember of it anyway, they didn't give it enough time, and they didn't fully do it right, which was very, very disappointing. That's the ultimate point I was trying to get at, but when you're halfway through trying to say something and you forget it, you end up repeating yourself a few times, trying to remember what the fuck you're trying to say. My mind is scattered. It's a stress thing. I'm a worrywart. I'm a chronic worrier about every single little thing. So, it gets you. But, yeah, long story short, Netherstorm used to be called Farallon. When it was Draenor, and we were hoping to see it in WoD, but we never did, disappointingly. Personally, I wouldn't mind if they went back someday and fixed that up, but I doubt they would ever do that. You know, their development teams will be focused on, you know, the current content rather than fixing up a previous expansion, or, you know, adding a new zone into a previous expansion. Which is disappointing. Basically, just from a, you know, the place will be forever unfinished. You know, forever in that state, which is disappointing, but it is understandable. But anyway, I think I'm making sense. It is good to know that we can share a common goal. Perhaps I'll find some use for your kind yet. Oh, that's an interesting looking beastie. Unique model. A vessel made ready. After some consideration, I've decided to allow Illyria another opportunity to pursue her destiny. I suppose you want to know what that means, mortal. Lotus Walker laughs. Meet us deep in the Shadowguard camp ahead. My brethren are preparing a summons that will provide adequate energy for Windrunner to begin again. Witness what happens when you harness the Void's power. Though only a demigod, Nhal'athoth's presence haunts the dark corners of Makari. Discarded remnant of the Void, and 150 veiled Argonite.
Flesh is fickle. How? Well, Windrunner, what say you?
Show me the path. I am ready to walk it.
Right this way.
I'm nearing out of Koa. You know the end of the bottle where it flares out a bit? Down there. Not nearly enough. Excuse me. Oh, it's nice for them to bring us here. Where is here? Oh, we just popped. We were over there, now we're here? Huh, as far as I thought we were gonna go. So, do I just slap him around? Okay. Keep hearing characters talking, but no subtitles. Illyria was doing it earlier when she said the, goodbye to the other guy, and, you know, yeah, rip. But, then one of them was haunting about a fleshling here, and I couldn't really hear them. Also, is that meant to be a female shadow guard? A female ethereal. I'm trying to guess by physique. It's kind of hard when they're mostly rags. Well, they're proper robes now, but, you know. Details. Actually, that isn't a unique model. That was from what?
This specimen will do.
It's a fucking demigod, I would hope so.
Prepare yourself, Illyria. Your friend here will hold its attention.
Alright, Chief. So, I have to defeat it.
That thing! It's calling to me!
Focus your mind. Remember your training.
Void consumption, succumbing to the void.
The void shows only half-truths.
Well, Tyrellian is here.
Or instincts.
Maybe they just see Silverhand Templar. No void howling.
I can't!
I curse you.
Damn it.
I won't let you. I am not yours to claim.
You know, he's actually not really that hard of a fight, really. Wait, why is he stunned? It must be because of what she's doing.
Be gone, wretched darkness.
Be sure to collect our prize, fleshling. I will tend to Illyria.
A pulsing core of void energy that buzzes uncomfortably in your hands. What the fuck do I do with this?
The heart of a demigod. This is no mere token, Illyria. Take it, and you will be one step closer to your destiny.
Soon
I
the...
understand. Thank you. Both of you.
You know, she's gonna end up, you know, half elf, half void. Her other sister is undead, a banshee possessing her own corpse. And the last sister, you know, the Silver Covenant one, yeah, she'll be the only one that's still alive and you know, corrupted in some way.
It is a good
Just
day.
wait, I know she'll get in with the wrong crowd and be, you know, part succubus then or something. You know, to complete the trifecta. I see the path clearly, Palnai. Illyria takes the heart in her hands. This is the next step, Palnai. Thank you for bringing me to this point.
Farewell.
Lotus Walker's gift. Absorb the heart of Nhal'athoth.
Greetings.
That was an intense experience. Illyria rubs her forehead. It is difficult to focus. I need you to return to Velen. Give him this. She places something cold and dense in her palm. I feel as though he should have it, though I'm not sure why. Tell him all that we have learned. I'm sure Ramu will be watching our progress. With any luck, a beacon is already headed our way. Ah, and this is how we get the other bit of the Tang.
The shadows can be an
You're
ally
alive.
if controlled.
The beacon is inbound. How do you feel?
My head is swimming.
Remember, so long as your mind is your own, you command this power. It does not command you.
How did you do it by yourself?
Ah, well. Perhaps I will tell you one day. Until then, I will be keeping an eye on your progress. Farewell for now.
You should return to the Vindikar and share what we have learned. My path takes me into the seat of the Triumvirate, to whatever fate awaits me there. I am certain Velen will understand.
Has she just succumbed to the void? Or just, you know, giving in to the whispers? Because it just seems like a stupid idea to run off ahead. She doesn't have that much more health than we do. Oh, Blingtron 6000. Let's say hi to it. Oh, that's cool. I really need to fix up my inventory. Suppose I could hold on to these for my alts, but can't be bothered.
Not all.
What is this? Such darkness. What is it you bring, Palnai? Velen peers down upon the cold, dense object. Intriguing. You are now prepared. Damn it, Ilden, you will not make that a thing. Can you sense it, Palnai? The darkness within this essence is palpable. In the past, I might have shunned such power, even denied its very existence. But what we have learned through our long struggle, if not, what have we learned throughout our long struggle, if not the light and shadow must coexist? This may prove to be exactly what we need to bring balance to the Netherite Crucible, to give us the edge we need against the Legion. Infuse this essence into the Crucible, champion. Draw one step closer to realizing your weapon's true full potential. And then we can get Western Makari world quests. We have all that we need now, Palnai. Illyria Windrunner awaits your arrival at the Seat of Triumvirate. Do not go alone, my friend. You need allies to recover the crest of knowledge and endure what Ulura has become. I will prepare the Vindikar and await your return. I like to be with you in that dark place.
We must unite.
I'll do it on heroic. Feel I may as well do it there. And actually, you can't do it on normal. That's only for the original ones. Which is interesting. Let's deposit this here. Oh, that's cool.
The Naru have not
Somehow, though, I'm not sure if he's quite an equal to a Shard of a Naru. You know? Ah yes, balance is key, just as the Prophet said. Maybe this is a small enough Shard of the Naru it bounces out. Yeah. The Crucible thrums with power. Soon our weapons will shine like the stars themselves. We'll need that strength if we're to have any hope of defeating that Legion here. Palnai, you've endured great hardship to bring us this moment. The honor of first tapping the Crucible's power must be yours.
Remain vigilant.
So yes, this is the thing. The Netherite Crucible enhances the relics of your artifact weapon. Preview the traits of an on-socket relic by placing it here. Ah, so that's what it is. I saw a video and they weren't sure what this would be. They thought this was gonna be a new thing, but it's just a preview. So, this just increases the item level of your artifact by 5. They all share it. Chaotic Darkness. Your damaging spells and abilities